But we wanted to get into the mailbag, right? That's where we were going to pick up on.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we actually have a legit mailbag question this week, and
A
I'm
couple
very excited
questions
for it.
from
Yeah,
the same
there's a
same
lot of
person.
questions in here. We got a lot of stuff to cover. So this is from Kyle Kimmel. We both know Kimmel, good guy. We work with him. NCO in
He's a sweetheart.
the United States Army. So thank you very much for your service, Sergeant Kimmel. But let's dive into this mailbag question. So it starts out, hello, Lineman Lounge. With the NFL regular season set to begin soon, I was curious on your take with these questions. So, with Jameis Winston being named the starter in New Orleans, do you think the Saints will still be a top contender in the NFC? I'll let you go ahead and tackle that one first.
Well, in the NFC, no. I mean, there's an outside chance that they could get a wild card if Jameis balls out and it turns out that this corrective vision surgery that he got really did help him out. I think that there's an outside chance that Jameis could be kind of good, but I'm not sure about the roster around him offensively. You've got Alvin Kamara,
Stud.
and then
But who's their receivers? Mike Thomas is out.
yeah,
Like Jameis is throwing to guys who are not good receivers. He has no number one. I'm not even sure he has a number two technically.
yeah. I mean, they've Marquez Callaway, I believe, is their top guy right now. It's tough. I don't know that they're gonna win. Like the NFC South, it's not likely that they're gonna win that. And you'd want them to at least win the South if you're gonna say that they're a powerhouse or anything like that. I mean, how was the phrasing of the question again? Are they going to be a factor in
Will
the
they
NFC?
still be a top contender in the NFC?
Yeah, I no.
I don't see it either, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Jameis
The
has
Bucs
fixed
the
his
Bucs are winning
problem.
the South.
Yeah, the Bucks are absolutely winning the South, which means they're fighting for a
wild card
wild
spot.
card spot at the best. But I don't see it, man. Like Alvin Kamara is a stud, but he's not enough.
He's not going to carry the team.
He's not going to carry the team. And Jameis is.
If Jameis shows up, then cool. And if the wide receivers somehow blow us away and they've actually stashed away some talent that really hasn't shown through because of Mike Thomas or something, maybe. But
yeah, I don't see how they can be, man.
I think they're going to have some flame games where they actually show up and surprise people. But on the whole, that you're fighting for a wild card, and if you're one of those wild card contenders in a less than stellar conference, you're not really making an impact on the NFC overall.
I think at the best, this team can be 9-8. At their best. I don't know if that gets them in the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah.
That is man. Like that entire NFC West, they could get 3 teams in the playoffs. There might not be a single team in the NFC West that goes under 500. That's how good that fucking division is.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time seeing them being super competitive with Jameis. Maybe Jameis comes out and plays well. We've seen him throw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. But he also threw for 30 interceptions. And he had absolute studs out at wide receiver with Mike Evans and I just forgot. Godwin. Like, he doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So I think Jameis is going to struggle, and it might not all be Jameis's fault. It might be because they don't have a lot of pieces outside of Alvin Kamara.
They definitely have taken that step back this year. It wasn't even just – it's not just Drew Brees leaving. I mean, Drew Brees makes you feel a little bit better about the team, but it's not just Drew Brees leaving. It's that offense overall. They've definitely taken that step back towards the Falcons and the Panthers in that division where, you have the clear Bucks are a lock.
Yeah.
Barring
Bucks
catastrophic
have a chance to go fucking
49ers style injuries. It's I struggle to find a scenario where they make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, me too. I don't see it. So we'll stop beating that dead horse on this question because we got a couple more. Okay, so which rookie quarterback will have the biggest impact in their Week 1 debut? So there's a couple rookies that we can take off right now because they're not playing in Week 1. Trey Lance, probably not playing.
Well, he's not starting.
Not starting.
They've talked about using 2 quarterbacks throughout the game or 2 quarterback sets, even stuff like that.
Yeah, but if he's not starting, he's not having the biggest impact. Justin Fields is another
unless
guy.
Garoppolo's going out there and just throwing a duck of a game, and then
that's entirely possible.
The 5 plays that Trey Lance plays, he's throwing these bombs for touchdowns or something. That would be impactful. I don't see it happening.
No. Justin Fields is not playing.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton, the Bears are going to go down with Andy Dalton for sure. Like, he is going to have to play miserably for Justin Fields to see the field.
Yeah, Matt Nagy is really testing his uvula on Andy Dalton's schlong. I don't really get it, but it's the Bears. Go ahead, go burn your team down for the year. That's NFC North, one less team for me to have to worry about.
So really, that leaves us with Mac Jones. Mac Jones and the Patriots play the Dolphins. We got who were the other?
Jets and Panthers.
Jets and Panthers.
We got your boy Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, right? And then where the hell's the other rookie?
Dolphins, Patriots.
No, I already had Dolphins,
said that
Patriots.
one.
Yep.
My bad. Jacksonville and the Texans.
Jags and Texans, and obviously Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence. So I think the quarterback who's going to have the biggest impact.
And that's the key point. Biggest impact.
Biggest impact.
Not necessarily positive impact. Could be negative impact.
Okay, correct. I still think it's Mac Jones. Mac Jones won that starting job. You guys have all heard me talk about how I'm a big fan of Mac Jones. I think he's going to help that Patriots offense be much more efficient than they were. The Dolphins are a very good team. They are right on the edge of the playoffs last year. Beating the Dolphins week 1 is a huge step for Mac Jones. I think that they probably get that win. I like the Patriots in that game. I think Mac Jones has the biggest impact, but it's not all because of Mac Jones. I would say Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to have the biggest impact, even though I expect the Jags to win. They're playing the Texans. The Texans are going to have the biggest impact in the Texans game because the Texans are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
They're awful. So Trevor Lawrence may look really good, but I don't think that has anything to do with Trevor Lawrence. I think it has to do with how bad the fucking Texans
think that
are.
he just has to play average game management quarterback for the Jaguars.
Don't throw 3 picks and you're going to beat the fucking Texans.
And even with 3 picks, you never know. They might still beat the Texans. Yeah. Look, I can make an argument for any 3 of these guys, honestly. I'm Jaguars, Texans, like we were just talking about. Jaguars are not a great team or prolific by any means.
Nope.
But they could be trending up. They've got a solid running back. They've got what should be the franchise quarterback for the next decade.
At least.
And they've got some pieces here and there.
I like their receiver group.
Yeah, you can't say that for the Texans. If they have a piece, it's a piece that they're going to trade to the Cardinals for dirt or something like that. You know,
for a
like
fucking bag of balls.
Just don't trust it. So I don't think that they thrust a whole lot on Lawrence in this game.
I don't think they need to.
Because, they don't need to.
Exactly. That's why he's not going to have the biggest impact.
This is like sending a boxer out to face just like a BS opponent just to get their feet underneath them.
Yeah, anybody that Tommy Fury has ever fought. This is
So, I mean, he could go out. Maybe we're underselling like how aggressive the Jags will be with going at the Texans. But biggest impact, I mean, like I said, I can make an argument for each of these guys, but that's probably my least likely for biggest impact. Zach Wilson and the Jets versus the Panthers. So the Panthers have an okay defense. It's nothing great. Their offense probably isn't going to be, isn't necessarily prolific. Now, I don't know how good the Jets defense is going to be, so maybe they do start putting up some points. But I think Wilson is going to be that really boomer bust, flash in the pan potential type quarterback. So he could go out there and he might make some really flashy plays that could make that big impact in the game. It also could be the negative impact if some of the knocks that you've had on him show through in this game. Yeah. Because the Panthers do have a defense.
They have a capable defense.
Yeah. So, but back to Mac Jones and the Patriots. He's the least flashy of the 3. He's on a solid team with a solid defense. They're playing probably the best opponent out of this group. I think Miami's actually going to have a pretty good year. Overall, Miami is going to come to play, and this is a rivalry game. So most impactful, at least from a viewing perspective, probably could be Mac Jones, because it's going to hinge on whether or not he can command this offense. I mean, rookie quarterback getting the reins from a Cam Newton, a solidified veteran NFL starter. It's going to be, all eyes on Mac, seeing how this game for the Patriots is not can they beat the Dolphins. It's how does Mac perform against a rival, which
a very good team
lends
who is
itself,
a rival, who is a well-coached team with Brian Flores.
Yeah, Flores, who knows the Patriots and stuff like it's setting up to be a good game to watch, just to see how Mac is able to perform in his first NFL start in the regular season. So while I can make an argument for all three of them, I would assume that it's going to be Mac Jones, though if it's the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick style offense, it could not be super flashy. It's just going to see if he's able to overcome the adversities.
Yeah, I got to go with Mac. I mean, there is a chance that my guy, Zach Wilson, has a great game, plays great. But there is also that possibility that he does not. He is.
I see Zach Wilson as having the potential for more of those highlight reel plays out of the three.
Yeah, he's gonna make even in this game, he is gonna make some great plays.
Which it begs the question: what do you consider to be an impact play? There's a lot of arguments that can be made either way. But I think the impact for me will be kind of the game-changing plays and stuff like that. And I feel like there will be more opportunity for really pivotal game-changing plays from Mac Jones.
Agreed. All right. So on to the next question in this mailbag question from Kyle Kimmel. Do you think that there are any teams that could be looking at signing Cam Newton? So earlier in the show, we talked about Cam was released. They were worried maybe it was a distraction. We kind of gave our take on the possible distraction. Is there a team out there that could look to bring Cam in? I think there are plenty of teams where Cam would be better than their current starter, but do I think that they would look to bring him in?
Yeah, bring him in is a no for me right now. Again, there are teams out there that could be better off with him. We're an injury away from him having a good opportunity in certain places. I mean, the Texans make sense just because even though Tyrod's there, they've got the rookie quarterback from Stanford. I don't think they're going to take a risk on that right now. Bringing in another quarterback to just muddle up an already kind of weird quarterback room with Deshaun Watson being on the bench, which I don't think he's actually been designated anything yet.
Nope. Nothing's happened with him yet.
Yeah.
There's potential he could still fucking play in week 1.
That would blow me away.
Yeah, I mean, that is still a possibility at this point because the NFL has not made a fucking decision, and neither have the Texans, which is insane. But Texans
would Deshaun Watson play for them? I think he said that he won't play.
I say he did say that. So that gives him, this is a perfect example. Like, hey, I told you I'm not fucking playing. I'm not fucking playing. On top of the fact that I'm potentially going to jail for the rest of my life and federal pound me in the ass prison. And then, so, yeah, the Texans, absolutely. Could the Eagles bring him in? Maybe, but they just got Gardner.
Yeah, I think the play that they just made for Gardner, it won't happen.
The Colts, bringing in an established veteran. Is Carson going to be ready by week 1?
That's the other thing. I think he probably sits week 1 if they're smart, but they might play him. I don't know if he fits the Colts offense, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think so either. If there's one team that I think actually should look at bringing him back. Bringing him back.
That's one argument that I actually have heard when listening to some other football podcasts and some other pundits going on, is that the Panthers wouldn't be the worst option for him.
No, I think it would be a really good idea because if you're not sold on Sam Darnold, you bring Cam back into the fold. You let Cam know, listen, man, hey, we're bringing you back. We're going to try out Sam. We're going to see what Sam has. But if Sam's not the guy, then you have an opportunity because I'm not sure if anybody is sold on Sam Darnold.
I'm not sold on Sam Darnold, but I think he has a career year. That's not saying much.
I don't think the coaching staff down there is sold on Sam Darnold. So you bring him back. You bring Cam back into the Panthers, where he is fucking beloved by that fan group.
Him with McCaffrey and all that stuff.
I think that could work. If there is one team that would be looking to sign Cam, that would be the team. I don't know if there's another team out there that would be looking to bring him in. Not that Cam's not better than some of these quarterbacks. But it just doesn't make sense for them right now because they're going to try to empower their young quarterbacks like the Giants. Give me Cam over fucking Danny Dimes, but the Giants are not going to bring him in.
The Panthers they released Will Grier, who was their backup.
Yes.
PJ Walker, who I believe was playing XFL or Canadian football for a little bit too. I mean, and he played well in whatever the sub league that he was playing in, but he's also not necessarily really an NFL quarterback. He's a little more one of those gimmicky guys. There's nothing behind Darnold other than that. I mean, that makes a decent amount of sense.
That's the only one that I see. Like, you can't bring him in anywhere else without causing some sort of massive controversy, saying that you're giving up on your guy, because the Panthers have not committed to their guy. They have not committed to Sam Darnold. They have not talked about him being extended, about this guy's looked really great in camp. Like, that's the spot. If Cam's going to go somewhere, that's the only place I can see him going right now until we get an injury.
Yeah. Okay. There's your answer. Panthers.
Panthers.
If someone should do it, Panthers. Otherwise, we'll wait and see what sort of injuries happen around the league and if someone gets desperate.
Yep. All right. And then last part of this question. So do we have any bold predictions for a week 1 upset? So I'm going to go ahead and let you tackle this one first.
Yeah, so this is only partially of me being an anti-Packer guy, but I could see the Packers going down against the Saints. All right, Packers are playing away after the whole offseason drama with Rodgers. Maybe there's a little bit of Rodgers didn't play in the preseason at all, so there could be some rust or whatever. He could still have some, sand in his hair from Hawaii or wherever the fuck he was.
It's not where I thought you were going with that sentence.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But the Saints, I think, want to make an impact. The only thing that really kind of throws me off of this game is that, yes, it's an away game for the Packers. It's a away game for the Saints, too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, does that make a difference?
They're playing in Jacksonville. It probably makes somewhat of a difference. But that's my upset. I would love to see the Saints beat the Packers, obviously. But I don't know that the Packers got better this offseason. I think that there's question marks now surrounding the issues with Rodgers. And the Saints are the type of team that people might sleep on because they've got Kamara.
And Kamara.
That's it. Winston either shows up and shows that he truly deserves to be a starting quarterback, or he, falls to the wayside, and then the Saints are going to be looking for a new quarterback next year. This is his opportunity to start a statement of why he should be a starter in the league.
Yep.
And so that's the game that I think will be my upset, is Saints beating the Packers in a home away game. The only other game of note that I would bring up, and I know that it's something that you weren't going to bring up because you think it's going to be tougher, but Browns versus Chiefs. So Chiefs are heavy favorites, even though the Browns are
6-point favorite right now.
Yeah.
On the spread.
But I mean, the Browns are a very much improved team.
Yep.
This is a game that they know that if they go to the playoffs, they're probably going to be looking at, staring down the barrel. So they want to make an impact here and try to take it to the Chiefs. It's going to be a much closer game, I think.
I agree.
A hard-fought game. And while it would be an upset, I think it would be, again, kind of, putting the hammer down, saying we're this new Browns team. We are good, and this is why we deserve to be in the conversation for a Super Bowl contender.
If this isn't week 1, that's the game I'm hopping on. Browns beating the Chiefs as the upset. But with it being week 1, our defense has 9 new defensive starters. We have not had a ton of opportunity to play together. And Andy Reid has extra time to prepare. Andy Reid off a bye week with extra time is the second most dangerous coach in the NFL
He's
behind
just pounding burgers
Belichick.
right now watching film.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's fucking fantastic. Now, I would love to say the Browns are going to beat the Chiefs. I'm just not. When I went through and I did my picks of the Browns schedule, who we beat, who we lose to, I have us losing this one, not because I don't think that we can play with the Chiefs. Week 1's going to be tough, extra time, 9 new defensive starters. I would love to hop on here and say, yeah, fucking Browns are going to win. I don't know if that's going to happen, even though I fucking hope it does. So my pick, and I know this is going to go right into the almost homer thing, kind of like you did. I think the Raiders can beat the Ravens in week 1. Raiders are at home. It's a Monday night game. It'll be very exciting. This is the first time I believe that the Raiders are going to have fans.
Yeah, in their
nice,
stadium, sparkly new stadium.
In that brand new stadium, the first time Raiders are going to have fans there.
It's going to be a party.
That's going to be exciting. The fucking Raiders fans are going to show out, and the fans and the players are going to be excited for that. On top of the fact that the Ravens have a shit ton of injuries, they lose their number 1 running back. Their quarterback has been out with COVID. Did not get hardly any reps with his new offensive weapons. He's got their receiving core has been banged up and hurt.
Yep, multiple guys on IR.
New offensive line. Like, this Ravens team is going to be good. I would love to say they're going to be trash, but they're fucking not. They're going to be good.
I'm still actually not sold on them. I think that their offense takes a step back.
I think it does as well, but I think they're going to win 10 games at least. Maybe 11. I mean, they're going to beat they're going to beat the Bengals twice.
I think 10-11 is possibly where I'm seeing them.
Yeah, it's 10 or 11.
I got to look at their actual schedule, but I think 10 or 11 is the top end of what they're going to be looking at.
I think the Browns win the division with 12 wins. But this could be, right from the rip, this could be a game that the Ravens drop. Because of all the injuries, this is the first time the Raiders get to play in their home stadium in front of fans. That's going to be a crazy atmosphere on a Monday night. I got the Raiders beating the Ravens in week 1.
Yeah, not a bad pick.
But all right, that takes care of all the questions from our mailbag questions. So Thank you very much, Kimmel. That was great. That's the kind of stuff that we're hoping for when we started up the mailbag, getting these kinds of questions in. We want to hear kind of what you're looking at as the season goes on. That gives us a chance to, kind of break down what you guys are interested in. Obviously, these are things that we're interested in. Otherwise, we wouldn't really be talking about it. We wouldn't be given this kind of deep analysis of that. So thank you very much for that question, guys. Keep this kind of stuff coming. We love the mailbag question. So
yeah, really appreciate it. Thanks, Kimmel.